and I'm a nutritionist. I love talking to people and training people. So many years ago, as an S6 vacuist, I was broke, struggling, life was hard. I was invited to take a look at network marketing. I got started. Long story short, I'm a father, married with 3 children, and we are happily going to good schools because of this business. And today I'm your trainer. Today we have a very special product we are going to discuss called which name? It's called which name? Just before we start, I love teaching people. And when we are learning, this is what's up. Tell your neighbor, this is what's up. This is what's up. I want you to answer back when I ask questions, because I don't want to leave anyone behind. Yes or yes? Yes. Some people have not answered because they are busy on their phones and they are just looking at their neighbors. Yes or yes? Yes. So when I ask questions like yes or yes, I want you to answer back. Yes or yes? Yes. And others to cooperate. How many of us have notebooks? Put them up straight and high, like that. You have a notebook. A notebook is one of the most important tools you need to have while you come for this business. We are in a business school, and we are equipping you and teaching you the things that probably you didn't know about in the first place. All together. So having a notebook while you come to class is one of the most important things. It's like going to a church without a Bible, and you want the pastor's Bible to be your Bible. What if he reads for you a wrong scripture? You're poisoning yourself. All together. So for those of us who are new here, if you really want to make money out of network marketing, one of the things you must have is your notebook, because in the future, you're also going to have a team. And that team will expect you to stand in front of them or sit with them in a circle, and you teach them what you know. You cannot get everything off head. All together. Like right now. About 2 months ago, I started a campaign of selling this wonderful product, Liver Care, and I sell it every week, a lot of it. And I read, and I also made notes on my phone. So today I just don't want to use my head alone. I want to use the slide, but also I want to read for you a few notes. And those of you who know shorthand, those of you who have your notebooks and you can write and you want money, this is good for you. Yes or yes? Yes. Are we ready, team? Yes. For those of you who are new, we are talking about business. And nobody starts business unless they want to make money. Tell your neighbor to be attentive here. How many of you are here and you do not want money? Like you don't want money. Now, how many of us are here and you seriously want a lot of money? My hand is up. If your neighbor's hand is not there, I'm not going to tell you to do anything on them. Tell them to change their attitude. Are we together? Now, if you talk about business and money, nobody makes money unless they have, something they are selling. To make money, you must sell something. And we usually talk about so many things people sell. People sell products to make money. Others sell services to make money. And others sell, this one is? Themselves to make money. People sell themselves to make money. You come to me, you write your application to me, your boss to be, and you're trying to tell me how nice and educated you are. What are you trying to do? So when you go to school, we need to get this idea of sales right, because it is something people fear most. Now people sell themselves to get jobs. Now everybody you see who has a job and it's not their own thing, they sold themselves to that boss who hires them every day. 8 a.m. and I will not let you go until 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Some days, even weekends, half day. So even if you have other stuff you want to do, you put it on hold till after 5 and you run to that place where you sell yourself. And then that boss uses your experience, time and money to make more money. And then they give you some money out of what you've made for them at the end of the month. Nobody pays you more than 15% of what you make them. That means if you make them 100%, they'll pay you maybe 12% of that, simply because your eyes are still blindfolded and you don't know. So people sell to make money. If you're not selling yourself, you're selling a service. It's not a service, it's a product. So at OQATA, what do we sell? If you know, shout for those who don't know to hear. If at OQATA, what do we deal in? Products. I want to ask again. At OQATA Wellness Solutions, what do we sell? Products. We sell products. Now, nobody, listen to me, everybody who is new, online, wherever you are in any country, watching us live or recorded. Actually, if you're watching a recorded or live, I want you to answer with a comment down here. I'll check after. What do we sell? The answer is products. Type it down there. Now, nobody is going to make money in OQATA unless they learn the selling game, because all the rich men, every rich man sells something. Now, it is a must for you to learn the selling game, because nobody makes money unless they are selling. And that is why we want to clap for our CEO, because he went out there in the market and looked for the amazing products that can outcompete the existing products for us to be able to make money. A round of applause for Mr. Mohozi right there. So, if you talk about business, it is something big. It is your thing. We talk about business in many ways, but nobody is very rich unless they have a business. Someone once told me there is no rich employed person, and I was arguing until I learned it. They also have a business somewhere. Are we together? So the business you're in involves sales of products. Now, because we sell products, you cannot sell what you don't understand. You cannot. That is why the first things, for those of us who are new, in your first year of doing business, listen to me. Are you here? Yes. You need to learn and master the products. And at OQATA, we don't have many of them yet. But soon there are going to be many. I know of businesses where they have 50 products, and you must know all of them. Because a customer is going to come and they're asking about product number 48. You cannot tell them, I don't know 48, I only sell number 5. You're losing money now. Actually, the more the products, the more the money you can make. Are we listening? Yes. I want you to pay attention, everybody who is in the hall here. Your eyes should be here. If your eyes are on your phone, you'll excuse me. Nino lugezigezi kanjogere Luganda. Kubanga abanjigiriza bali bakambwe muko, and they helped me make money. They help me make money and I still make money. Kati simu yo osula nayo kanjogere Luganda. You sleep with your phone, those of you who are online. You can do with your phone because you're learning now. Nekati gwali waneno simu jagaza ki. Tujajisika tujiteke wano. Tuba tumaze nga njikudize simu yo. And I mean it. Let's clap for them. No, let's clap for them. Now, today the product we're going to talk about is called liver care. Now, liver care is one of these very important products. Why? Your body, as a body, is made up of what we call primary building blocks. We call them what? Cells. Those of you can read Mogere. It's called what? Cells. Because these guys here should know you're here. It is called what? Cells. So it is the cells that build your body. For those of us who are seeing this for the very first time, your mother brings one egg cell and your dad brings millions of sperm cells. But only one wins the race to life and fertilizes the egg. And now, the one from one side and the one from the other side, when they join, they say two become what? One. Are we together? And then when the two become one like this, that is fertilization. Now it is 2 in 1. Let me do like that. Or let me do it enter and it is there. And they are 2 in 1. Now the cell multiplication process will start. Are we together? That process is called binary fission. They start dividing, 4 become 8, 8 becomes 16. You did that. Now, cells form what we call groups of cells. Sometimes they are called what? And then tissues, ebinyamanyama, ne bitandika okwekwata, ne biforminga kye bayitaani. And then the organs will form what we call systems, and your body is systems put together. There are many systems. Are they 8? 7. We have the respiratory system for breathing. We have the digestive system. We have the circulation system. You guys have the reproductive system. Who doesn't have a reproductive system? Gatolina. Then you have another one, the nervous system. Just to mention but a few. All the systems must be functioning right and well for your body to be okay. Now, for the systems to work well, the organs that make the systems must be healthy. But for the organs to be okay, tell your neighbor, for the organs to be okay, the tissues which come from the cells must be fine. So cellular health is the most important thing. Those of you who are writing, already writing. Because even when you eat the food, before it works in your body, it has to work in your cell. Because your cell or your body is made up of what? Cells. Now, we are going to pick out one system. And it's one of the most important systems that you need to take care of. Because whatever you eat goes through that system. Who can guess that system? The digestive system. It starts from where? And it ends in the anus. Now, who is laughing at the anus and they don't have it? Let's clap for those who laughed. Some people laugh thinking about anus. Anus is the same as your mouth. They are the same. They are outlets. All together. So, in the mouth, you eat the food. And then it goes through that system. And then it passes out through the anus. Now, I won't go into that science. But that digestive system somewhere is connected to that very important organ called the liver. Somewhere. They work hand in hand. I want to read for you my notes. And I want you to pay attention. Of course, maybe for those of you who need the visual factor of it. Can I rub off this one? Yes, you have it already. So, I'm not a good artist, but let's assume this is your mouth and with teeth in there. And the reason teeth are very important because they help you crush the food, isn't it? And for those of you who don't know, learn from me. In nutrition, they tell you, they advise you to chew the food very well and let it get mashed. Bulungi nyo. They tell you must chew it how many times? How many of you chew the food 32 times? Nobody does that. Even when you try, maybe 20th time it is not tasting anymore. But the reason they tell you to chew as much as you want, they want that food to be mixed with saliva very well, which has some enzyme. They call it what? Saliva what? Depends on where you went to school. It is called what? Am I lazy? Now, when you chew that food, because most of the time we don't chew it bulungi, nobody chewinze bulungi. The amylase softens it bulungi, nekola ne digestion y'ebintu ebimu bye tulagenda kugendamu. It comes in your stomach, where they say it takes 2 hours in there when it is being churned, chewing it. That's why when somebody has just eaten and then they're your friend, you tell them to lay down and then you put your ears on the stomach, you'll hear like machines are doing the work. Are we together? And all that. This is what is happening because the food is being chewed. So that is mashed bulungi, becomes too porridge-ish and ready to release the nutrients. By this time, They talk about eating food, you've just swallowed it, you have not yet used it in your body. It is still in the process. That is why they tell you after eating supper, don't go to bed and sleep right away until it is 2 hours later. But how many of you do that? You don't. So some of you get bad breath in the long run because the food rots in there. Now, small intestines, I'm not a good artist, but we are trying to assume. And I won't draw the large ones. We shall stop at this one. When the food is well mashed here, 2 hours later, it will proceed to your small intestines, well mashed. And these ones have a lot of capillaries, the tiny small vessels, which now help when the nutrients are absorbed from the food to transport them to what we call your cells for the food to work in your body. Are we together? I'm just being very fast. So this is how it works. Now somewhere as it is going, I want you to see why liver care is also important. And why when somebody has ulcers, apart from giving them colon detox, you need to give them liver care as well. Why when somebody has bloating, you know bloating and gas in the stomach? Why apart from colon detox alone, this is a very important product you must give in combination. Are we together? Are we following? Yes. We agreed. You have to answer. Are we following? Yes. Okay. And now read for you this one. Like, I don't want to over-explain because my notes were all written. The liver, that very big organ here in your abdominal area, has a small sac in it. If this is the liver, it is that shape. In there, in the liver, there is a space that is created, and there is a polythene bag-like package there. It is not attached, but it is in there. Are we together? It's called the gallbladder. It's called the what? Gallbladder. The gallbladder. It's called the what? Gallbladder. Now that gallbladder has a small tube they call a duct that is attached to what we call the small intestines. Are we together? And we said the small intestines are part of which system? Please answer. Which system? The digestive system. Now, and still that tube there, which comes from here, has a branch that is connected to the liver. And this liver here, I'll tell you what it does. Let me not use my head. Let me read for you what I wrote. Because I just didn't want to take a lot of time. Each time I try to explain, I take a lot of time. Those of you are listening. So, the bile is the juice which is produced by the liver and sent to your intestines every time you eat fatty foods and some sugarless stuff. How many of us take a day and tolidde ku kintu kirimu sukali? Taliyo ne wawanika omukono, I'll disqualify you because even the food you eat, most of it is glucose. Are we together? Carbohydrates. So you eat a lot of sugars and fatty stuff, especially fries and the rest of that. Now, the liver is always producing the bile, which is the greenish yellow juice. Kano kagalbada bakaita kalulwe in Luganda. And they always tell you when it breaks in your meat, what happens? It is very sour, isn't it? Have you? It is. Me, I've never tested it, but according to my grandmother that I grew up with, and my uncles that used to slaughter chicken, they used to be careful removing the liver. Are we together? Because they would say, if it breaks, the chicken is spoiled, isn't it? Now, even me, when I started cutting, I have never broken it, but I know it from experience that was given by my uncles. Clap for me. Now, even you who slaughter goats and cows, you have just come from Media Doha, you know it's slaughtered. They take the liver very cautiously until they remove it from the meat. Are we together? That even when they remove it from the meat, they first of all take care of the liver until they remove that cavera-like thing. And now they are sure the liver is not going to be sour. Are we together? Now, I was passing it to my boy because a few months ago we started the chicken slaughtering lessons. Are we together? Let's clap for this fatherhood. Let's clap for the fatherhood. Now, most times people have a challenge with the bile. And that is where liver care is one of the most important things. Because the bile is that juice that is produced by the liver to help you in many things I'm going to show you here, as also the liver is doing the detoxification. Are we together? Yes. Yes. Okay. So fixing your bile health will transform, one, your digestion. Do we have people who have digestion problems? Yes. Ulcers, gas in the stomach, heartburn, mania constipation, hemorrhoids. There are many digestive system problems people have. So, bile health and production, which is almost bracket in the liver, will transform your digestion, comma. It will transform your hormones. Do we know people have hormone imbalances? Yes or no? Yes. Men and women. Because even men have hormonal imbalances. Now, and it also helps in the detoxification at the root level. Now, most of us knew the liver for detoxification, but it's also good for hormones because of this thing, the bile. All together. And also good for digestion. And this is what they say. These challenges that come and attack the bile production processes, most doctors ignore it. And indeed, most people never get to hear about it unless they are part of OQATA. But that should stop today. Are we together? Bile, which is that juice that is greenish yellow, produced by the liver, is one of the most underrated fluids in your body. And it works as a natural soap that washes out the fats we eat in the foods in our colon, bracket the large intestines, and also in the intestinal tract. Remember, when you eat fats, they also go there. And they affect you in many ways. This bile is made in your liver, like I've just shown you there. But it is stored in the gallbladder. And it is released every time you eat. When is it released? Every time you eat. Now, this is what should come in your mind when you're picking up that fork and you're putting the food in your mouth. That while I'm doing this thing, there is some fluid which is being what? Released or produced. It is being released, stored and released. So it is like your body's natural soap, breaking down the fat so that you can absorb the nutrients. But it also doesn't stop there. Why do we say breaking the fat so that you can absorb the food? Have you guys known how the pit latrines, you guys know the pit latrine? Not the toilet, but the pit latrine. The one they dig in the village. And you go there and there is a hole that finally fills up. What do you put in that hole? Feces. So most of the fecal matter has oils in them. This is how the toilets fill up. Those things we call the pit latrines. So you put your fecal matter, it keeps coming, and it is oily because you eat oily food. When you pass, it also passes out. Now, this, when the houseflies break, the water goes down because it has water. You also urinate. But then some time comes when the oily stuff now clog on these walls, and they also get on the walls of the soil so that the water doesn't go. Now the fecal matter starts rising up. And they rise up with oil on top and also oils here. So usually these guys who make money, they tell you we have medicine that makes the what? The toilets go down. Oh, we call them toilets, but they are latrines. You get it? You know what they do? They have chemicals that emulsify the fats. Let's clap for these guys, they are wise. Me and Upline Elias, where we started network marketing, there used to be a product called LC30. And LC30 was a fat emulsifier. It was a soap for washing utensils, where you put one drop in like a whole tampeco and you form a whole tampeco of soap. You get it? Now you just put that kakuta, we call it, the dishwasher. You understand? And then the sponge for washing dishes, you know it. You put and then you wash. even if you had fats that clogged on a plate for 3 days, the LC30, like magic, would melt without using hot water. So what we discovered, our upline told us, that when you put LC30 in hot water, 20 liters of water, because it was concentrated, boil a jerrycan of water, put LC30, and you pour 5 liters in one pit latrine hole, and another pit latrine hole, and another pit latrine hole, 5 liters each. There are 2 holes, 10 liter, 10 liter. Give that person 1 week, they'll come praising you, because the toilet has gone what? Down. How many of you realize we made a lot of money in the villages? Let's clap for these things here. Now, the same way, are you following now? Yes. The same way those oils clog the walls in the pit latrine to avoid the water from being absorbed and going down. That is how the fats will also be in your intestines. They will be on the lining, like they also do in your blood vessels to bring pressure. So the oils this time will be in your lining, and they will sabotage the absorption of the nutrients in the fruits you ate. So every time you eat, the liver has to play a role in producing about 1 liter. How much? Of bile. That means a liter is a lot. And they pour it through this tube, the duct, into the intestines, so that they will emulsify and break down these oils that are clogging the walls, so that absorption is complete. That means, for those of you who have been following our trainings, you know we have how many stages of nutrition? 6. Nutrition. 6 stages of nutrition. Just to recap for those of us who are seeing this for the very first time. There is what we call diet. Repeat after me, diet. And then there is what we call nutrition. Repeat after me, nutrition. You can have a very good diet and poor nutrition. Because diet simply means what you eat. What does diet mean? What you eat. So when you eat posho, it's dieting on what? Posho. When you eat greens, you're dieting what? What you eat. But then nutrition is what, those of you who are writing, please make sure, by now we have 3 pages. What your body uses after eating is what you call what? Nutrition. Now it is important that you have good nutrition. That's why some people have a good diet. Whatever is on the plate looks very attractive. Fries, chicken, dip, KFC and the rest of these things, but with poor nutrition. The moment you have poor nutrition, you die or you get sick. And sickness causes what? Death. Are we together? Now, in the stages of nutrition, which is the most important thing, what you eat, what your body uses. Those of you who went to P3, we talked about a balanced what? A balanced what? A balanced diet. And this is how I can demonstrate it. If this is your plate, you always put food on your plate in a large amount. Let's say posho, or let's say matoke. Let's say, what other food is your favorite, Papa? Mogo is your favorite. Let's give him one hot clap. 1. Cassava is mogo. Hajat, what is your favorite food? Food, not sauce. You, yes. Huh? The food, her favorite food is maize flour, posho. Then some of other people, they say Irish potato, isn't it? Oh, yeah. It's very rare to find somebody saying sweet potato. I don't know why, yet it is our indigenous food. But anyway, food is there. But when you put the food, I have to pay attention here, because this is how you can make a lay person realize they need your product. Now, people eat food every day and it is large amounts. But when you compare, if this is like a piece of stone, what we're using to demonstrate the food we eat, when you put another, what we call sauce, on the plate and you compare it with the food, if there were to be stones like the one I'm using, for the food and the sauce, which one is bigger than the other? If you know answer, which one is bigger? That means our sauce will be slightly smaller than the what? Than the food. That is our sauce. And it is the same. Big lump of matoke or heap of matoke is some sauce that usually gets done. My grandmother would say, make sure that sauce finishes that what? Food. I love the discipline. So you make sure the sauce, you tap it from the side. You get it? Those of you who know African traditional societies, clap for me. And then, when you finish the sauce before the food, when you're still young, you ask. But when you grow up a little bit, you double think before you ask. Yes or yes? Yes. You're thinking, what if? Because there was a chance of Jimale unakwa Dembezi Kumara. I won't translate for them all together. So, when she adds you, she will tell you, make sure you don't come back the third what? The third time. Now, food, sauce. This is what most people do every day. They neglect the other bit, which when they do, they put small amounts. And these ones, to me, they are one of the most important. They are the what? Please read. They are the what? And the vegetables. The fruits and the vegetables, these are the ones. They are the most neglected, that even when you try to put, those things are sour. Put for me very little, unless you've been trained about nutrition. Now, each of these things on the is important to the layman. The food, most of it is energy giving. We eat food to get energy, because most of it is carbohydrate based. Then, the sauce, most of it is proteins. Yes or yes? Yes. The beans. And what do proteins do? What's the main function of proteins? Put up your hand. No chorus answers. No, let me select somebody else. What do proteins do? You put up your hand. Ronnie, give us. You don't know. Who knows the answer? Yes. Let's give a round of applause. Proteins, which is the source, most of it is body what? Bodybuilding. You don't want to have bones when you're walking. Now, because most of you, whenever you're eating food, you don't eat plain food, you eat it along the what? With the sauce. That is why you're looking like you're looking now. You have some meat on you. How together? Because most of the sauce you eat, beans, whatever piece you eat or meat, is bodybuilding. Now, the fruits and vegetables, which are the most neglected, most times they are for body what? Body protection. Now, you're like Goliath in the Bible. You're so energetic, you've eaten a lot of sauce, you're so gigantic, but you have a small shield. Because the fruits and vegetables act as the what? The shield. So when the disease called Goliath comes, they see a big human being that even when they get a small stone on a sling, it can easily kill them. That's why whenever you get any flu attack, you are among them that get cough and flu. When malaria comes, you are among them because you eat. Yes, you're energetic, you have the well body which is built, but you're not protected. Now this is imbalanced. Usually they advise us to balance it like this. When you're eating, at least let it be in equal amounts. So that your kalai, if this would be a kalai, the frying pan for those local mandazi, you get it? When you put stones like that, they balance. But when you put them like this thing will pour on this side. You understand? Because it is like this. It is so spherical. The sphere. When you put load on one side and there is nothing, it will overturn. It's topple. Now toppling is death. So many people die these days before they are supposed to die. I'm sure God is complaining, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be there. And then you're like, I've come. Like, wait there. Because you're not supposed to be here. Early death. So nutrition, this is diet. So this is the balanced, and this is the what? The imbalanced diet. Now some of you are not even following. How many of you are still on the same page with me? Put up your hand if you're still on the same page with me. If you're not, is this important? Yes. Is it important? Yes. That you have in your back offices. Now, diet is what you eat. It can be imbalanced, like this plate is, or it can be balanced. Now, you must have a balanced diet before you think about proper what? Nutrition. Because if your diet is well balanced, and the vegetables are in equal amounts for protection of the body, as the proteins, which is for bodybuilding, as the carbohydrate, which is most of the food for energy production, then now when this is worked on, your diet is thick, now you'll think about what happens when now the food is in the what? In my systems. Hello? Hi. Now, for nutrition, which is what we said your body uses after what you've eaten is being put in the body, that nutrition, if you talk about proper nutrition, like we have a balanced diet, has what we call 6 stages. And stage number 6 is very important because many people get operated when they have bad stage 6. This one's stage number 5. This one has a problem. That's why he's dozing. Use. So I want you to pay attention while you're dozing. Just clap for him, he's not going to doze again. You guys don't like him. Clap for him so that he knows you like him. In other words, stop dozing in my class. What is your name? Eric? Kenneth? Kenny told them kuongo tamchiwina naye. Stage number 1 is diet. We have explained a balanced and an imbalanced what? So stop treating your body like a dusty bin. Whatever is put on the table, you just eat. Jinjale kuruma, you pass by one day, you see a person frying mandazi in oil that looks black, and you also know oil is supposed to be not black. And you buy. You are treating your body like a dustbin, and assure you me, the dustbin, when it is not worked on, it will smell. And the smell is a sign of rotting stuff. And rotting causes cancers in the body. Now you have bad breath. You think you're going to be fine. You cannot be. Hello? Hi. Hello? Hi. Okay, are we ready? Yes. Are we learning? Yes. Are we learning? Yes. Or we are not? So, mind what you eat. And then after you've eaten, stage number 2 is called digestion. And what did we say digestion is? The breakdown of food. And then after digestion, when the food is broken down, in the mouth, it starts, it falls in the stomach, still it is being broken down, and then it continues in the small intestines. When it reaches the small intestines, it has already been broken down here. It is pushed through the duodenum to these small intestines. It is now porridge-like. It is ready to release the nutrients, because when you eat food, you don't want it, you want its nutrients. The amino acids, the vitamins, the minerals, the proteins, which are called, there is a lot of nutrients. Your body uses what? And we get nutrients from the what? So to access the nutrients, you must break down the food, which is what we call digestion. What is digestion? The process of breakdown of food so that it is well mashed and it can release nutrients for the body to use. 5 marks. Who remembers? The teachers should be respected because there is a way they calculate marks. When you finish papers early like me, I used to go down and I start counting. This is 5. Then you tell teacher, but today's test is 98%. Not yet 100. What does that talking about? Wakati obudde wabadde nabo n'obala naye waliwo abatamala na kumala nga ansa zifuuse ansa ng'otakula omuntu nga ansa tozikola ki? Mukomeo tujaba super focus. Let's continue. Now after digestion here, when the food is released and it is mashed, it is supposed to release nutrients in a process that is called absorption. And that is where we said bile is important in the absorption. Because when the bile is released by the liver, that bile will come in here and it will clean the walls of the intestines so that the blood vessels can open and the nutrients enter freely in a process called what? When the absorption is done, it happens in the small intestines. That's why the small intestine is very long, so that if it is not absorbed here as it is passing here, they take it. If it is not absorbed here, it is going down here. Oh, this one is running away, we're going. They take it. So by the time it reaches the end of the small intestines to start the large intestine, they call the colon, which is that big one, which is like this. You know it, isn't it? Now, in here, it means the food is no longer having nutrients. It is ready for being passed out. In other words, it's ready feces. Let me use the word you understand. Now, if you don't take a lot of water, tell your neighbor, if you don't take a lot of water, some water is absorbed in the absorption. So, when you don't take enough water, tell your neighbor, enough water. When the fecal matter reaches the large intestines, it doesn't have enough water. So even in the movement, it becomes hard. Then now constipation starts laying a step of coming in your life. Are we together? Yes. Let's clap for ourselves in the language you understand it. Are we together? Anyway, now absorption is very important because after absorption, now the food waits for stage 6. Stage 6 is called elimination. Now some people find it hard to eliminate because your fecal matter is very hard. And then you go, okay, fine. Maybe the neighbors are hearing. And then you do it silently. And then it is not coming. And you're like, You stand up and you try to pull back. You understand? We shall start from there. You go 3 days. For those people, they are Fred, aren't they there? We're supposed to pass out how many times in a day? 3 times. Maybe 2-3 times. Now some of you do every morning until tomorrow morning. Me, in the morning, it is done. And then you eat like that. They call them caterpillars the entire day. And then you still wait. Some people have mild constipation. And you know, this thing can store feces. Can you imagine an extra 20 kilograms and they are not meat and they are feces? Or 10 kilograms? Imagine 10 kilograms of feces. You're moving around with it. Tap your neighbor and tell them, are you carrying? And then you're moving with the food of May, and now we are in which month? And then you eat in June, and when you go to the toilet, if you eat in June, it lands on top here, isn't it? There is one, okay, this is exit. There is one for April here. So the one of June comes and makes a line behind here. You got it? When you go to the toilet, you think you're passing out what you ate yesterday. Kumbe, what is happening? Last month is what is being, oh, finally we're going out. They also don't want to stay there. Now, you keep out of waste. That's why some people have bellies. Somebody has a belly, help them very much. So that's why they call it colon detoxing. Now, who knows we have a product that does the cleansing of that colon? Colon is the large intestine. Let's clap for these products. They are so obvious. This is liver care. caring about your liver, because the liver somehow, it is here, it has the tubes we call the bile ducts, that when the liver produces the 1 liter every day, it takes it and pours it here. The remainder is taken back, stored in the gallbladder, and then whenever it is needed, before they produce, they first finish this one. Then now they produce, they store. You get it? And then the emulsification of the fats for absorption to happen is done. But then after the absorption of the nutrients they put in the blood vessels, now the blood vessels will commence stage number 4. They call saturation. Blood vessels now, circulation system. Food moving from the intestines as nutrients to your cells. It has to be taken by a bus. Blood. That is why products like bone muscle care, which have iron and the rest of that, are very important here. Products like a super omega-3 are the ones which I will talk about here. Products like the liver care, which has curcumin for blood thinning and the removing of those B fats again, they are important here. Basics. What is important here? Colon detox. Important here, there are many. Liver care. Important here, maybe resveratrol. And others. For digestion, all of them. Diet, you need them, because diet, what you eat, nutrients, you need them. So, number 5 after circulation, you who was dozing, Ken. Number 5 is called assimilation. Everybody read after me, assimilation. Number 5 is what? Let me have a clean board. So I'll rub off this one. So you need liver care, everybody, on top of what we call colon detox and the super omega-3 and all these products, because, man, you have not stopped dieting. And most of your diets are bad. Hello? So when let's say this is your cell, a healthy cell. Let me draw it when it is smooth like that. Then we put unhealthy cell. Talk about denaturing. Impermeable. So this is unhealthy cell. And this is what we call the what? The healthy what? So, when the nutrients are put in the blood by the capillaries in a process called what? Pay attention. A process called what? Everybody. Process called what? Now the blood vessels will do what? They're going to say the blood vessels will saturation. The blood vessels will saturate. Are we together? And transport these nutrients as the food nutrients. And these nutrients will come to the cell. They are not supposed to stay in the blood, because the blood is only a transportation media. When they stay there, problems. Come, don't sit in a taxi. When it reaches the park, they say, Mama, we have stopped here. You're not coming out. You tell them, I'm still here. They say, Neda. For us, we have reached. We're not taking it. They will push you out. That is what the blood is supposed to do. So when you have sugars, when you have amino acids, are you listening? And they want to stay in the blood, and they are not entering where they're supposed to reach, then now you have sickness. This happens when your cells become denatured and impermeable and sick. And what causes sick cells? When you don't eat enough fatty acids. We shall talk about that later. The omega-3s and the essential fatty acids, not now. So, keeping your cells permeable and healthy is very important. That's why products like the colon detox that have nutrients, products like the liver care, products like the resveratrol, they have oils and essential stuff and super omega-3 that will keep this membrane clean, so that each time the nutrients come, they just enter. Now, those of you don't using omega-3 and colon detox, please start, because your cell is like this. The only first way you will know your cells are like this is when you start dosing where you're not supposed to dose. When you feel fatigue in the morning after waking up, you wake up as if you've been beaten yet just from sleeping. After eating food like this, the nutrients are so many in the blood because you've just eaten 1 hour, 2 hours ago, 30 minutes ago. Now they are clogging the blood, and the blood is telling them enter, and they're saying no, the doors are closed because your cells are impermeable. So they're just bouncing off like this. like this and back in the what? In the blood. Now the blood was heavy because the whole taxi and the bus was full with a lot of kilograms. And it is like, let's just bear for this 30 minutes because it is going off. And now, instead of throwing it there, they throw it comes back on. Now the blood is very slow because it is loaded with stuff. When the blood is porridge-like, instead of being like water, you know porridge? Yes. Porridge and water in a jerry can. When you're pouring water out of a jerry can and you're pouring porridge out of a jerry can, which one flows faster? Answer me, which one flows faster? Water. So when your blood is porridge-like, because it has a lot of nutrients, is it going to flow very fast? No. It's going to be what? Sluggish. When it is sluggish, what is going to happen? The oxygen supply to your eyes, to your brain, will also be slowed down. And now, the eyes will be like, what is happening? We're not getting enough oxygen. Let's pause a little bit. What's going to happen? Your eyes are pausing because they want to stop to help the other body parts for them. We're like, as we can wait. Let others get. So that is a process called dosing. And then it is bad. So when someone overdoses, I want to use the layman's language so you understand. When you go to the village somewhere, Ronnie was in Michana calling me. I said, you will come back, I'll teach you. That's why I was not picking you, by the way. I was seeing all your calls. Let's clap for Ronnie there. But thanks for the good work you're doing. Let's clap for him. He's doing a good job. Have you known why people are dozing? Now when the old men in the church at 9 a.m. start dozing like this, and then in the afternoon you're talking to them in a seminar about why they doze at 8 a.m. yet they sleep the whole night, they'll be like, that is true. They're already shaking. You get it? Now, this is assimilation, the process of nutrients entering your cells and being worked on. Because when the nutrients enter here, the sugars will produce energy, the amino acids will build the body, the fruits and vegetables, minerals and vitamins will do the protection. It is done in the what? In the cell. Not in the blood, not anywhere else. So until the food reaches the cell, it is useless to your body. Hello? Now, after the food nutrients have worked, wastes are produced, and these wastes are supposed to pass out as what? Wastes. Back in the blood, and this is elimination. And elimination will continue where the blood will take these wastes to what you call the kidneys, so that the blood gets the cleansing, so that these wastes can pass out from the kidneys, and then the blood is clean again. And that is all stage number 6. As the feces, which were the remaining solid matters, are also passing out in the anus. So the wastes from the kidneys pass out as what? Urine. I told you some of you are sleeping. But when we start recognizing the platinums and giving cars, you'll start admiring, how do they make it? And then you're thinking, I'm 1 year old and I cannot even sell 20 products in a month. What are you doing? Are you a business person? Imagine a supermarket that cannot sell 5 pieces of soap in a whole week. Where will it get money to pay the workers? Or you guys think it's about bringing people in OQATA? You bring when they quit and you think it's business. No, it's a distribution business. You're supposed to distribute products. So you must learn what you're distributing. Yes or yes? Yes. This is only for like 5 people, but it's okay. Now, even here, Bambi, the little nutrients that enter will give you less energy. That is the dosing reason. Now, the wastes which are produced cannot come out. A little waste comes out, a lot of it stays here. That's why many of you have rashes, even developing slow cancers you don't know about, and a lot of other conditions. Yes?
You said what could be the best supplement for people who tend to have those...
Let's come back to class. I've not given solutions yet. Those were A or Bs. Let's clap for Papa. So how many stages of nutrition do we have? 6. How many? 6. You guys can do better. Some of you are mean. How many stages?
6 stages.
Aruna, you didn't say anything. You're dozing. How many stages?
6.
The first one is called? Number 4 is called? Stage 1 is called? Stage 6 is called? When you have problems with stage 6, you need colon detox. When you have problems with stage number 3, The best product is what? Super omega 3 and liver care. Now today we're talking about liver care. OQATA products, liver care. This is a superb, high quality natural supplement for your liver health, because the liver produces the bile, which bile is important in stage number 3, which is called stage what? About 1 liter a day is produced by the liver every time you eat food and released in your intestines to emulsify the fats. It is the soap that washes the oils you eat so that you can have proper absorption. Now when the liver gets problems and it cannot produce enough bile, you start getting problems. Sometimes you don't realize it. Let me not even waste my energy. Now, this product has key ingredients, and this slide is going to talk about the benefits of these ingredients, and the target market will be done in like 10 minutes. I'm going to peruse because now I know you have an idea. Now, I told you that bile is one of the most underrated fluids in your body. It's a natural soap that washes out fats we eat in the foods, especially in our colon and the small intestines. Now, made in your liver, stored in your gallbladder, and released every time you eat food. It is like your body's natural soap, the bile. It breaks down the fat and you can absorb nutrients. Now you know where absorption is, isn't it? Now, if you don't absorb nutrients, the rest of them are not affected. If this one is bad, then these ones are going to not be effective. Because one follows the what? When you don't have proper digestion, that's why you get bad elimination. With bad digestion, you cannot have proper absorption. With a bad diet, now what happens when you don't eat? Your liver produces about 1 liter of bile daily. This thick greenish yellow fluid is essential for 1, emulsifying fats, making them digestible. 2, absorbing vitamins A, D, E, and K. Bile is important for the absorption of vitamins A, D, E, and K. Vitamin A is good for many things, including eye health. Vitamin D is good for many things, doctor, including what? Chimbugwe. Vitamin D. You say loudly so that she can hear. Vitamin D is also good for your bones. That's why they tell you, akasana kokumacha, manya, there is a way it helps the body. Let me not go into that. Then there is vitamin E. Those of you who want to have a nice skin. Those of you who want to have proper heart health. E. Then there is vitamin K. Absorbing these vitamins, you need proper biodigestion or proper bioproduction. Then, binding toxins and heavy metals, that is where the detoxification comes in. When there is proper bioproduction, there is binding of toxins you keep eating in food colors, in plastics, in metals, and etc. Then regulating your gut microbiome, microorganisms in your digestive system. The regulation of them, this is very key for your immunity. That's why liver care is good for immunity as a product. Hello? Now, let's talk about immunity. 70 to 80% of your immune system resides in your gut lining. The composition of your bile directly affects this ecosystem. Bile acids shape your natural microbiome through antimicrobial activity. That means when somebody has a stomach ache and you have liver care, can it help? Yes or no? My stomach is spending too much about ulcer, about food poisoning. Those of you get food poisoning. Which product can you run to? Which one? No. I know liver care is only for liver detoxification. We're supposed to be people with liver problems. It will not work on ulcers. Ulcers is colon detox. Stop that. I would call it no sense. It's no sense. So in our local language, they add the 2 words. They call it what? Nonsense. Don't cram. Understand. Are we together? Akim, are we listening now? The questions are being answered. Remember? You remember that question? Yes. Now, It does the antimicrobial activity, killing the bad bacteria while supporting the good bacteria. So what happens when your bile is not flowing properly? Number one, you get bloating after eating fatty meals. Then you know, chaka kati bile liverabika ino obuzibu. Tekyazaala bulungi. Kasita olya ebisabusabu oba oilo noneka okulya gas ng'oluto luzimba. Naidde ebijanjalo olunzimbinzimbi olwo. I ate beans and my stomach is... Because you know the fried beans. Then you eat manyana. Wendya lumonde mpulira ekikeeto. Then when you have pale, loose, greasy stools, when you have a brain fog after eating, every time I eat food I feel like dozing, brain fog after eating. Then you have skin issues like rashes and acne. When you have hormonal imbalances, especially what you call estrogen. You know women who have estrogen problems? So as you're giving them other products, what should you think about among them? Which one? Why liver care? Because it helps in the bile production, and where in the bile, it helps them in that way. The hormone imbalances. But let's examine hormones more closely. Let me stop there. Because this is for my personal consumption. I read them in my inbox somewhere, on my group somewhere. And now we can control. So liver care is very important as a product, and we need it. I want you to take me the photo like this, from that angle like this. Thank you. So liver care. Introduction. I want you to read for me that dot at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Comma. Let's do again. 1, 2, 3. Stop there. With Calculife, this makes liver care a superb product as a supplement to support your liver health. And the liver health is supported by detoxification, removing of those toxins and bad elements, reducing the inflammation. Inflammation is pain, swelling, liver inflammation. When the liver inflames, probably the bioproduction process is affected. And now you have the other effects we talked about. And also protecting against damage caused by what? Toxins that we take in the water we drink, that is treated with the chlorine in GABA and fluorine, and then packed and transported in plastic and metallic pipes. We don't know if they rust or not, because they are put under the ground in Uganda. And then that water comes to your tap, and there is a lot in the lotions we smear ourselves with, in the deodorants and roll-on perfumes we use, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, the stuff we use on our bodies. Most of them have toxins, or they have stuff that make our bodies intoxicated. And we cannot avoid them. Yes or yes? Yes. Now, it combines Calculife with other potent herbs, vitamins and antioxidants to do the work. And now, the key ingredients in liver care are these ones. That Calculife, you can call it curcumin. It comes from that one we call the turmeric. Now the turmeric, when you go about reading, it's a very good one for many reasons in the body. In fact, all systems need that one. The other thing is the milk thistle, which protects your liver cells and reduces the liver inflammation, and it promotes the regeneration of your liver. The liver can regenerate but overconsumption of alcohol and smoke and the rest of those toxins, they will kill the liver cells. So the milk thistle, which looks like this one, is very important. But the curcumin, which you call curculife, in the turmeric, it is good for supporting the liver enzyme regulation and the bile production and also cell regeneration. That means people have liver problems. That one product called liver care can help them regenerate the liver. The liver can be regenerated, renewed, becomes young again. But a person must take a lot of liver care, not one bottle. No side effects. I discipline myself every 3 months. I take 1 bottle of liver care just for these benefits and many of them. I just finished one last month in May. That was last month, right? And I'll not do till like in September because I have my schedule for the products. Now I'm using resveratrol and colon detox plus super omega 3. Now, key ingredient number 3 is called what? Everybody, everybody look at your neighbor, tell them read. 1, 2, 3, it's called? Anamu is an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory element because it has effects that will stop cancers that attack the liver and your body systems and also boost immunity. And by doing that, it also helps the liver in detoxification processes. And it also supports immune health. Now, talk about immunity in the liver or from the liver and detoxification from the liver. It also goes back to bile. So he talked about bile. Then when you talk about another one called dandelion, or it's called dandelion in proper English. The dandelion promotes the bile production. You see, all these components talk about bile. So the most important thing is bile production. And then we talk about fat accumulation. What does the reduction of the fat accumulation is what? Bile. The bile. And the bile is produced by which organ? And stored where? Let me now do the sample so that I can see if you were really making notes. When the liver produces bile, are you listening? Yes. It produces it every time you eat food. Why does it produce it? Yes.
Produces the bile to remove the fats that prevent.
Please listen.
The liver produces the bile that helps to remove or cleanse the small intestine where fats have been to promote proper absorption of the nutrients.
Let's clap for Kenneth. We are coming for others. Now, when the bile is produced, in how much quantity per day, average, does the liver produce? What is your name? Wanye? Syria. You pick for me one person, you want to answer that question. I'm not answering it. You say this one. Stand up. Let's go for her to stand up. Please stand up. There is what we call 80-20 rule, and it works. I'm talking about the 20% we shall sell liver care. Pick for me one person here. Not this one you smiled at. I said here. Here. Please come. What's your name? Tell us. Don't waste our time. Stand up. Stand up. You're very smart. Let's clap for her. She's very smart. And by the look of things, she was all in my lesson because she was there. She even, do you have a notebook? She doesn't know whether she has a notebook or not. She's smart. Let's clap for her. So we said the liver produces bile, and the bile is produced in a certain quantity per day every time it produces it. Like in how much quantity does the liver produce bile on a daily? Bile is a fluid. And fluids are measured in what? Standard is what? Liters. Now, some people now, how many liters does the liver produce every day of bile? How many liters of bile does the liver produce every time you eat on a daily basis, minimum? Tulondeleyo omulala, tetulina budde. Ndowooza mukirabye. Imagine. You didn't tell us your name, and the microphone is held properly, and you should stand up like your friend. Let's clap for her. How much? 1 liter. Let's give her a round of applause. When you provide your liver with elements like dandelion, it is going to produce bile. And the bile is good at reducing the fat accumulation. And that means those of you who want to say, people who want to cut weight, which product have you been dying on selling them? Trimton. Trimton alone. What else can you add? Say it loudly. What else can you add? Give yourselves a round of applause. Oh, you see, you bought Trimton Enhancer, 3 bottles, but then for these fats not to form again, so that they do not come back, to help, to stop our process, I want to add you liver care. Why? It has something called dandelion, and then the dandelion has bile, and then the bile does this. And then somebody will be like, wow, how much is that? And then to me, I'll tell them 200,000. Then you're thinking, what should I tell them, 120 or 125? And then we tell them 120,000. They will say it is expensive. I think I should tell them 100,000. It is below price. When you have knowledge, you have power. Say knowledge is power. Some of you are lazy. You don't even know what to say. Knowledge is power. Question and answer continues. Fat accumulation is reduced by the bile production, and the bile is produced by the liver and stored in something called the... Please hold the microphone. Stand up. Tell us your name, and then who invited you in business? You have that one, isn't it? First tell me who the sponsor is. Yes, hold the microphone bulungi. Katika kakuyigirize. Na kayiga ni nemeka 18 atandika network marketing. Microphone ogikwate eri free. Mukono gwo gw'amaanyi gwegulwa. Gweguno nga tolina kyogenda kukola okozesa guno. Oba olina byokola guno guba kugenda kukola kati ogikwasa guno. Neto ogitugeno woti ojejjiremesa okukwata sigino. Ogikwata wano bwoti ng'oli free nayo. Tukole ekyo. Tumukubireko mu ngalo abalabayize. Let's clap for him. Microphone yaye togikwata eyo. Awo. Kati tekewo waneno. Semanda. Tukubireko semanda mu ngalo. Luchamuzi. Weddira nte weddira nyonyi nyange. Tuwulire. Madam Fiona is where? Madam Fiona absent? Okay, please. So we said that the liver produces the bile with the help of nutrients in liver care like dandelion, and now the bile is stored in some kabaga in the liver. And what is that kabaga called, where the bile is stored? So that every time it is needed, before the liver produces more, they release this one which is there, then the liver gets time to produce more to store in this one. That kabaga is called what? Wanji? No. Semanda mumuyambe. Jango no nyo answer. The bile is not stored in the bile duct. I said the duct is a tube. Is it stored in a tube? Give your neighbor. This one. The neighbor. Jonathan, stand up. Let's clap for Jonathan. Jonathan, when the bile is produced and wants to be stored for further use, it is stored in which place? Let's go for Jonathan. It's a gallbladder. Keep your microphone so that we can ask more questions. You're going to get for me one person. Now, we said anamu is good for enhancing liver detoxification and hence supporting the immune what? Everybody read it. Supporting the immune what? I want you to move the microphone. You stand in the corridor. And now people are scared. I want you to move back. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop. One more step. Stop. Right. Give her the microphone. Give her the mic. This one. Ha. Stand up. What is your name?
Yes, good morning, journalists. My name is Sharon.
Hello, Sharon.
Yes.
How does the liver detoxification support the immune health? Is it a hard question? Let me say. How does the support of the immune system done by the liver? We talked about it. Sharon Kabaka Ganye Nonya upline. Very fast, do for the upline. How is the immune system supported by the liver? With the help of anamu. But let's leave anamu there. I gave you, when somebody has immune problems, how should I give them liver care? Why? What explanation should I give them? Now you know the question. You said you have flu. You have flu. Flu. The product I can give very fast is omega-3 and respiratory. But now I have liver care here. And I know it's also good for immunity. How do I sell the liver care? Okay, I know it has anamu, which is good for antioxidant step. And it is good for... now, the question, I'm over even giving you explanation. Give us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I just handed now.
Come here and give your sponsor. Yes. As you're coming to the stage to get your upline sponsor, please come. And the upline should stand up and come now. But in China meeting,
what I can leave out is that the function of the liver is to filter. So when it does the filtration and your liver is healthy.
No, give the microphone to the sponsor. We are not using psychology, we are using facts. And the facts have been given. Let's clap for the sponsor as he comes to save the downline. Come to the camera so they see you. What is your name and how is... Everybody pay attention. You're on your phone. I'm going to give you a question. But tulemererwa tujja kuswaza mba wadde sebuma tetumuswaziza kubanga ye mupya mbadde nkimanyi ne tujja kuswaza.
Now after the question, how does the liver help to support immune health? Now the liver produces what we call the bile. When the bile is produced and it goes back to the large intestine for the food that wasn't digested here, it contains what we call waste and what we call toxins. So the bile helps the large intestine to eliminate the toxins and the waste through the anus. So when the toxins are away from the body, which means your meat is going to be boosted. And it also helps to absorb the nutrients and the vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K, and vitamin E. Thank you very much, Mr.
Now, you have not yet survived me. I want you to talk about the antimicrobial microbiome. You pick one person. In that line. From the front to the top and the back. Hassan, Hakim has got a call which is air call, but we understand. Call Freddy. Give the microphone to Freddy. Thank you very much. Doctor, come to the front. Let's clap for... Let's go for Dr. Omar. He comes in the stage. You see, antimicrobial, the microbiome health, Dandelion. Please give us good life.
You have to ask the question. You didn't hear the question.
The doctor didn't hear the question. Akati njagala obanyonyole nti bwe batuproducinga bayiro ono ayamba microbiome health mu large intestines, the small intestines, which is cut hence to immunity. So the microbiome.
Okay. When bile is produced, when bile is produced.
I want you to listen to the doctor. He's going to give you his version. It doesn't have to be like mine. What the bile does in the gut when it comes to bacterial health. Okay, to balancing the good and bad bacteria. You understand? It's the lesson I want you to have, because bile strikes a balance. It kills the bad bacteria.
Okay, when bile is produced, it goes straight into the smaller and large intestines, which strikes a balance between, it supports, it inhibits the growth of the bad bacteria, and it enables the growth of good bacteria, like the ones found in colon detox. I won't use a lot of biology because maybe some people may not understand.
Yes, thank you. Let's clap for the doctor. This one is not working, us, and we are done. Now, thank you for doctor. Let's clap for Umaria. H2 when they produce bile, it goes in the intestines, and we talked about there is a presence of good and bad bacteria in the what? In the intestines. The bad bacteria, lower immunity. The good bacteria, help in the protection. So it reduces bad bacteria as it supports the growth of the good what? Bacteria. And that is where we talk about immune health. Are we together? And this one is not working. Dandelion, we want to finish because we are done really. So there are major components. The first one is called curcumin. Okay. The first one, The first one we said it is called curcumin. The second one we call it the milk thistle. The third one we call it the anamu, and then dandelion. This dandelion is very important for bile production. Even the other one, bile. Even the one before, bile. So then the artichoke extracts, it is bile. So why is the liver, how is the liver doing its detoxification? Bile production. Then lowering cholesterol. Cholesterol is fats, bile production. If somebody has pressure, you give them super omega-3 and something that has artichoke extracts, or that helps the liver produce bile. What is that called? Liver care. Pressure is high for my mother. This one has pressure, blah, 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 blah. Super omega-3. Liver care. And then I'll add colon detox. With my knowledge, I'll add resveratrol. I can even sell them more than 9 products. But I just select. Number 5, it has beetroot. Who doesn't know the benefits of beetroot? When it comes to anti-cancer benefits. when it comes to body detoxification. Now you know, so beetroot is good for your liver health. So why liver care? Detoxification. And how is the toxin elimination done? Bile production. Number 2, reducing inflammation, the swelling of liver because it has too much toxins. How does it do? Removing toxins brought in by alcohol and other toxins you eat in the food which bring liver diseases. Bile production. So the most important process is bile what? Promoting liver healing. Those of them who are already sick. You cannot heal before you clean. Bile production. Then the other elements will do the regeneration of the liver cells. Which liver cells are good at bile production, so the liver can perform well. Let's finish. What's the target market for liver care? People who are like me, they are health conscious individuals seeking preventive care. Ah, you mean every time I eat fatty stuff after CJ's breakfast combo? Ah, with milk and milk as oil. And then with these bull fries, which are deep fried in some oil, I don't know, but now they changed color. And then there is some stuff. After a pizza evening. You mean every time I take soda? Wait. Every time I take sugar juice, this liver produces 1 liter. I need to support the liver with the liver production because the 1 liter is too much. Imagine 1 liter today, 1 liter tomorrow. 7 liters. 7 liters is heavy, you understand? So people like me will take liver care. 1 capsule a day is enough. 30 capsules a month, 1 bottle is done. When you're sick, you don't take 1. It is 2 to 3. People exposed to environmental toxins, all of you, who is not breathing right now? Like since we came here, like, because I'm about to pass in 1 day again. No breathing because those cars are very old. You even try to bring some other toxins around yourself. And then when you spray on your nose, because the body reacts immediately. You try spraying in your eyes, we see if it is very healthy for you. Have you tried a perfume in your eye? It is nice. You try it today. Some of you use Chinese things. You overspray on one place, it burns you. That one is Chinese. Some of you want comfort and smelling nice. When you spray on your skin, you feel like it is burning you. Stop using that one. It is beyond toxic, because even the outside skin, which is as thick as it is, it can feel it. Now it enters in the body. So liver care is needed everywhere. People who have fatty liver disease and any disease related to alcohol damages, you know those things of alcohol. Everybody who has a big tummy needs liver care. Because your liver is inflamed, especially the one which is here. You see those people who take alcohol, the tummy is swollen up here. What is here? Me, when I pierce you here, my dagger, I know I pierce the liver around you. So, if you work in a high toxin environment, there are many people who work downtown in Container Village and they are selling farm supplies. You enter the shop and you immediately sneeze because you have not yet gotten used to that breathing contaminated air. Them who work in maize flour factory, the hairs in the nose are also white. Let me stop there. People have diabetes. You need bile. There are many ways you need it. But first, digestion. People are overweight. I've told you, stop selling liver Trimpton without giving liver care. The next time you'll hear about colon detox, you also sell Trimton Liver Care Colon Detox. Next time you hear about Super Omega 3, you want proper weight management, Trimton Liver Care Colon Detox and Super Omega 3. The person will not come back to you and tell you, those things don't work. The reason they tell you that because you don't know. Tell your neighbor, it's because I didn't know. Conditions like the fatty liver disease, alcohol liver disease, the liver cirrhosis, hepatitis of all A, B, and whatever, then people of diabetes, people of pressure, people who work in toxin-exposed environments, those of you boys and girls who have a bad skin and you have acne, and you get fatigued all the time, and you get brain fog because your bile production is not done well, and you have allergies because your bile production is not done well, your immunity is bad. You need which product? Kati liver care ani atagenda gym really after here. Who is going to take it? You'll just be big-headed for nothing, but you wait when they troll you to a room. And the doctor says, man, this liver, Boy, I think 3 years from now, do you have a plot of land? Where they can lay you to rest. So you see, as many as the bars we have in Kampala only, that is how many the customers you have that you have not talked to yet. As many as the cars you pass by at, let me not give you the bars, any bar. You see, you go around 10. You see the parking full, expensive, nice machines. What are they doing? What do they do in a bar? See, you enter the bar, you'll see. It is all cloudy. They are busy getting rid of their liver. And you have what? Liver care. And then you fear telling them. And then they say, people don't have money here, and you die of poverty. And then we come and ask you, for example, Mama in a blue suit, I love you so much. Now you have learned. You see, when they ask you a question and you fail, you get to learn. You understand? I've had that several times. And that means now you've learned, isn't it? It is 1 liter every day. Are we together? Every time you eat food, and fatty food especially. Kati, how about customer? So, maintenance. As we are maintaining, 1 or 2 a day is enough. We are just maintaining. I don't want to fall sick. That's why I do 1 bottle every 3 months. I'm just maintaining. The next time I get to know I have one of these conditions, even if it's diabetes, liver care non-stop. Then, 2 to 3 capsules per day. Those of you who have liver damage and you have diseases, for healing, treatment. So you're like, hey, treatment, 1 day, 1 morning, 1 afternoon, 1 evening. Me afternoon, I cannot do 2 morning, 1 evening. Every day with a lot of water, and make sure you reduce the amount of fatty stuff you eat. Don't eat out of fried things. Be like you also have other information, you get it. Took out of fruits and vegetables, You also give other A or B information to show them that you're not just a seller of what? Some of you come as salespeople, you come as experts. Don't tell yourself you're a doctor. You're just an expert distributor who knows what you're talking about. Then detoxification, when you're detoxifying, this is short term. You can do short term detox programs, like in a week. You're like, I'm going to get liver care and I'm going to detoxify myself. This is intense. This product is very strong, by the way. So they tell you take 3 to 4 capsules per day. This is hard. It is 2 morning, 2 evening. You must take out of water and you must eat. Because you're going to get very hungry. Because now you know where it comes from. So you've been a good audience here. How many of us